How y'all doing? Homeskoolin, volume 11, the 5 minor, saddest of all chords. I'll get into that later. But anyway, shout out to the Guitar House. Drew was smart enough to send me a whole box full of swag. And man, I'm wearing it and I'm drinking it. So how y'all doing? Man, you know, I haven't been doing this YouTube thing very long, but I can already tell I've got the coolest viewers by the comments and the awesome stuff that people are writing. It's really cool. Not a lot of knuckleheads out there. Some intelligent, witty, funny folks, man. This one guy, super sweet. This one guy, Eric Bannister. He said, if you search Spotify for Homeskoolin with Tom Bukovac, I have put together a playlist of all the songs Tom has named or quoted throughout these videos. Enjoy. That's very cool, man. That must have taken some work. I guess we're all in quarantine, so you got plenty of time, right? But anyway, yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for doing that. Man, that's very cool. Awesome. So here's another guy. This is pretty funny. This guy said, "Hi, Tom. I should hate the virus, but without it, you would probably never have done all these lessons. It's a bit like yin and yang. There is always something good in everything. First of all, thanks 1,000 times for taking this time and sharing all your knowledge. Especially for me, it was perfect. Why? Well, there are 3 reasons. 3 is the number you should count. You should only count to 3. Not more, not less. 5 is right out." Nice Monty Python reference there. I like that. Here's his first reason. "Never for a second have I wondered what amp you played. Not for a moment. I simply did not care." Good. That's good. 2 is, I never realized that you played strictly humbuckers. I thought it was just by chance. And 5, I hung on every word you said. You could do the lessons without a guitar and I would still watch. All is not lost on me. It's all about the music." Well, damn right it is, man. Thanks for sending that. Appreciate that. Yeah, it is all about the music. And I wanted to explain I've had a lot of comments that people saying, talking about the gear thing, why do you hate talking about gear? Look, and why do you hate gear? That is not true. Anybody that knows me knows that I am a vintage guitar freak. I mean, I get high smelling the inside of a 50s Gibson case, right? I mean, it's a disease with me. So it ain't like I don't like gear. But I just don't want to talk about gear a lot on the show for two reasons. One is because there's already enough of that shit. There's already too many people talking about gear. You know what I'm saying? We need to work on playing. I've said this in past videos. I mean it, man. Gear's all great and gear's important and all that, but it ain't the arrow. It's the Indian. Okay, so, and then the second reason I don't want to talk about gear is because it creates too much controversy. It's like talking about politics or religion, which I also avoid. I mean, anytime I'm on a session and somebody starts talking about politics or religion, I just quietly leave the room. I'm not into that. Every man has his own views and they should keep it that way. Is that old school? That's kind of how I am. Sorry, guys. All right, but anyway, that's the thing. So, I mean, I'll occasionally talk about gear, like this 59 335. But look, man, it's not about that. Gear's fun. Gear's important, but it's more about the playing and the listening to records, to great records. Okay, and another guy said, hey, can you explain the process of how sessions work? Do you work for one studio, and is that the studio all the time, or do you go from place to place? Who hires you? Is it the artist or the studio? I've been doing this for so long, I forget that people don't realize how all this session guy stuff works, It's like, I mean, I suppose like to a guy who'd never done it before, it must seem strange. So let me try to give you a quick rundown without getting too belabored. I don't have a manager or anything like that. Every session player just books their own schedule. They call me directly. It's usually a producer that calls. Producers are like your main clients. It's not usually the artist. Sometimes it is, but it's mostly the producers. And they'll say, yeah, I'm working with so-and-so artist, and I'm putting a band together. Can you do April 20th? And I'll look at my pitiful handwritten schedule that I've been doing the same way for 25 years. I don't use any technology in my calendar on my phone or anything. It's so fun. I'll show you sometime how I do my schedule. It's hilarious. This is back when there were sessions, before the global pandemic. But anyway, yeah, the producer will usually call, and they book the day, and they discuss the rate and all that stuff. And I say, yeah, 10 grand a day is cool. Just kidding. Never that much. I wish. And then what happens is I'll say, am I on electric or acoustic? Because I do both, right? And usually they say electric because I'm more known for being an electric player. And then I say cartage or no cartage, which means do you have to carry your own shit or can you use cartage? And cartage is like the service that's provided for all the session guys, where they've got these big trucks full of these big cases that get stored in a warehouse, and it's all your gear, right? So you come to the session on those cartage days and your gear is already there. It's all set up, which is very nice. And the client usually pays for that. Well, it always pays for that, actually. It's a nice luxury, but what it does is it allows the person that hired you to get a lot more options. Like I have pretty much every guitar imaginable, like 12-string electric, baritone, hollow bodies, solid bodies, everything in that case that you might need, 12-string acoustic, all that stuff. So if you need that, there it is. But on a carry-in gig, I bring 2 guitars, a small pedal board, and a small amp, and that's all they get. I don't care what they want. And then you get the chart. Well, you go in the control room and you listen to the song they want to record, and somebody made a chart, a number chart. I wish I had one to show you. Do I have one here to show you? Oh, here. Look. Well, forget it. It's way over there. But anyway, just a number chart sketches out the chords, right? And then you all saunter out to your instruments and you start playing it. And get your headphones together. The engineers in there are getting you mixed together. That's when I usually bitch to the engineer that something's not right in the headphones. But most of the time, the first take out of the gate with these guys that you play with sounds pretty damn good, you know, and then they just tweak from there. You write your part, you sort of come up with a little idea, and there you go. That's it. And then they take forever to pay you. So here's another one. Hey, Tom, you were the greatest. Thank you. Tell me, what do you do when you arrive at a session hungover from too many Rolling Rocks, zero inspiration? They play some canned tracks that are so bad they reach new levels of god-awful cheese and say, okay, big shot, go make magic. That does happen. Okay, look, my friend Glenn Worf, amazing legendary bass player, he said one time, session guys make the worst junkies, because what happens is you get on one amazing session where you're playing this amazing music, and that feeling is so incredible that you can carry that feeling with you through 10 bad sessions where you're playing terrible music, just looking for that next fix, you know. It's like gamblers, you know, you win big one time, and then you can lose 10 times just to keep going. But it does happen. Now, to quote another bass player, my dear friend Michael Rhodes, he said, look, man, even when the music is terrible, it's somebody's dream, you know. That stuff you're working on that day is somebody's dream, and I always keep that in mind. I'm not trying to sound all up with people, because I'm certainly not Mr. Brightside, but it is cool to keep that in mind. It is somebody's dream. And every once in a while, the producer will literally just come out to the band and go, hey guys, these songs are not great. I'm just producing this artist because they sent me these songs, and they're not great, but let's just see what we can do with them. And sometimes they're brutally honest about the fact that the songs aren't that great. But it's particularly painful when people come in thinking that their songs are great, but they're not. That happens once in a while. But you know, every once in a while, people come in with these amazing songs, and you're just like, wow, what a treat, what a luxury to be able to play these songs. And I always say that like any session guy can come up with really cool parts on a great song. The guys that can make something out of nothing, those are the guys that I want around me, because a lot of times that's what you have to do. You have to make something out of nothing. Anybody can come up with an amazing part on a really cool song, and that's easy. But man, sometimes you got to basically just make magic out of nothing, and that's not easy. Okay, so there's that. What else we got over here? Let's see. We got some more. One guy said, the riffs, jams that you play, are they totally worked out, or are you improvising to a small or large degree? Are the backing loops that you play to yours? Well, yeah, of course. I just got a little line 6, you know, M9 looper down there. And, you know, I'm lonely and quiet desperation of being in quarantine. I'll come out here and noodle around a little bit, play some riffs, and see if I can get something going. That last thing I was just playing was an illustration of the power of the 5 minor chord, okay? Check it out. I was in the key of B, right? F sharp minor. That's a great chord. No, that's the 5 minor. 1. Flat 7, A major, E, 4, 1. Okay, so now I was going to show you guys something. Like, a lot of guitar players, they don't know how to play in major keys. And it really cracks me up when I see like amateur guitar players playing blues pentatonic over major. I mean, sometimes it works. Like at the end of Living on the Edge by Aerosmith, when Steven Tyler goes, yeah. You remember that bit? But rarely does it work. Okay, let me show you an example of how bad it sounds when people try to play blues over major, which is one of my pet peeves, by the way. I know some of my guitar player friends are watching this and they're laughing right now because they know how bad I hate it. Blues over major, here it comes. So we're in the key of B, right? And you're supposed to be playing major over this progression. You know, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, just a major scale. But a lot of times guys will get into the blues. Check it out. I mean, that's just all kinds of wrong to me. And that's also a very polarizing thing. Like Marlon, you probably like that. Or my friend Marlon, he likes weird stuff like that. So he probably likes blues over major, but I don't like it. I don't fucking like it at all. And man, I saw some video my wife showed me on Instagram of some real young kid. I can't remember his name, but he was playing along to some of my tracks. It warmed the cockles of the heart. I can die now. Maybe I've contributed something worthwhile to mankind with these silly lessons. But no, seriously, man, thank you all for the kind words, man. It's just over and over, all these people sending these very sweet things. And no one is asking about Kemper profiles. So I know my fans are cool. All right, that's it, guys. I think I got other questions, but we'll do that in the next episode. All right. See you all later. Bye.